back at it again, and we've got one here with Dr. Phil. Yes, Dr. Phil has actually been talking about some great topics more recently. He's actually had some pretty interesting topics of discussion on his show that I've been seeing pop up in my feed from time to time, and we've checked out, actually, I think a couple of his videos now. We even one with Joe Rogan, which I'm really impressed by. All right, that's exciting to see. Dr. Phil, red pilled, okay? But anyway, before we hop into this clip, make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you are not subscribed to the channel already, hit that subscribe button down below and join the family. All right, join the family. And make sure you guys are following me on social media. All of those links are down below in the description box. Instagram, Twitter, Truth Social, Discord server, all of that good stuff is down below. And with that being said, let's dive in.
We have a graphic of words or phrases that now you can't say. You can't say that. I mentioned a few of them before.
Okay, I guess these are all the words you can't say. First world problem, powwow, tribe, master bedroom, tone deaf, spook, lame, grandfathered in, mom and dad? Well, I think I know why that one is. Peanut gallery. Why can't you say peanut gallery? Brainstorm, ghetto. I don't even know how to properly pronounce that. Anyway, I think this is lowest on the totem pole. Is this lopsided? Blindsided. I think that's what this is. Blindsided and blind spot. Lame. Interesting. Okay, let's continue on. I just wanted to see what words were on there.
And I'm just curious. Some of these maybe are obvious, but if you know why some of these are on the list now.
Mom and dad, I see why that would be up there.
So why would mom and dad be up there?
I have a daughter with another woman, and when it's being taught in school that, that's just the norm, that it's just mom and dad, it kind of offends us. Because
that is the norm. You're goodness gracious. And this isn't like being intentionally offensive, but the norm is the norm. Like the norm is mom and dad, like you didn't make that young lady with another woman. And that's not trying to say that her situation is like, the worst ever. I'm not trying to belittle her, but when she says that's not the norm, well, let's take a look at statistics. Normally, people aren't raised in that style of home. So that is the norm. Nobody's saying that it's trash or like, oh, you're like the worst person ever. It's just norm. So yeah, she's definitely wrong there.
That's just the norm, that it's just mom and dad. It kind of offends us because we are lesbians. You know what I mean? We come from the community, and it makes us feel like we're not important enough to be called mom and mom or parents.
So should I stop saying that?
No, not you.
Because you're mom and mom?
No, not you per se. I'm just saying as far as it's being taught.
Anybody. If that was our experience, yours is mom and mom. I'm happy to say mom and mom, but why would mom and dad be on the don't say list? Why not add mom and mom?
I get your point
dad
on that.
Dad, but why is mom and dad offensive to your sensibilities?
I mean, to be honest, because it's being taught to my daughter, and she doesn't have a father figure. She sees two mothers, and so every time she reads something that says dad in there, you can see a little bit in her eyes. It's like, well, what's going on over there? Why don't I have a dad? So
and that's when you sit her down and you have that conversation. That's when your part as a parent comes in. All right? Like, I almost feel like she's trying to absolve herself from responsibility of being a parent still, kind of, in a way. She's pointing the finger, oh, well, see, you're making my daughter question things. Well, it's your responsibility to sit her down and have that conversation. It's your responsibility to educate her on her situation, on the household that she lives in. Like, I don't understand. Like, that's what parents do. You sit your children down and you have a conversation, right? The same way, for example, my mother sat me down at one point in time And we had the conversation about, you know, some of the video games that I used to play, like Grand Theft Auto. And, you know, what was the other game? There was another game that was similar to it. Saints Row, I believe it was called. There was one other one too. But, you know, all of these different video games, you know, the Call of Duties, the Grand Theft Autos, the Saints Row, where you could do like these really, really horrible things in these games and all types of stuff. And yes, on these video games, son, you can do this type of stuff. When you go out into the real world, you do this stuff, you're going to end up dead or in jail. One of the two. Do what you want on the video game. But once you walk outside that door, you ain't doing any of that. None of it. You know, obviously the conversation didn't go completely like that, but you sit your kids down and you let them know, you know, what it is. Like I don't know. Anybody feel me? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Like I just feel like she doesn't want to sit down and have that conversation, or hasn't for some odd reason. Like
It's a sensibility issue on the child's part as well. So I'm looking out for my daughter in that sense.
Well, isn't that a conversation that you should be having with your daughter anyway?
Oh,
so
we
that
have.
she doesn't take offense to terms
We
like this?
definitely have had that conversation, but in the same sense, there is an accountability for the school as well.
No,
I feel like
wrong.
when they're putting that inside of our homework and stuff like that, it's making the kid feel a certain type of way.
Help me out here.
no.
It is the heterosexism of it all. Mom and dad are not canceled phrases. I can assure you, in schools all across the United States, school leaders are sending memos and teachers are sending memos home with their children about mom and dad. I think
Because that's the norm. Like what? Oh my goodness! Stop being offended about everything. It's the norm. It's not meant to be offensive. Like people are. Never mind. Goodness gracious! I'm just so.
what we're missing here is the opportunity to be decidedly and deliberately inclusive of all parents.
I agree. I would say that of all these words on the list, the only thing that I've heard be talked about in my entire life being canceled, and it's not canceled, is the word tribe. It's about the rhetoric changing. We're not failing our kids these days at all. We're just changing. We're progressing, and we're allowing us to become more inclusive of a new generation of people. I'm glad that your parents were married for 50 years, but something is now changing, and we have to account for that.
Well, my thought is, regardless
No,
of
it's
your
not. It's not changing. That's still the norm. Mom and dad is still the norm. What's wrong with saying tribe? Like people are taking offense to anything and everything they possibly can. Pretty soon, we're not going to be able to say a darn thing. We're just going to be not. And even that's going to be taking offense because some tribe somewhere's language sounds just like that. Oh, it's cultural appropriation.
color, regardless of your race, why would you take offense to any of these terms or words?
I'll give you one.
You know what spook is?
Master bedroom. Here's a historical lesson. Master bedroom is the bedroom where master slept,
I understand.
where he raped enslaved black women,
I understand.
where black women who were enslaved were his servants. As we come to understand the historical origins of the word, I think we can agree that was an awful place. We probably shouldn't call it that. Can we call it something else, like the primary bedroom or the main bedroom in a house?
No, I'm still going to call it the master bedroom. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. They're thinking about this way too deeply. Way too deeply. Like, who in their right mind? Yeah, let's take a poll in the comment section. Who in their minds thought, hey, when I hear master bedroom, I think of slavery. I think of slavery. Every time I hear master bedroom, whenever I walk into my master bedroom, I think of slavery. Has that crossed anybody's mind? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know. Take a little poll. I'm going to see how many of y'all say yes and how many of y'all say no. It's never crossed my mind. At best, one of y'all, you know what I mean? Like, one of you knew the history on it and like, oh, yeah, man, the slave masters used to call this the master bedroom. Maybe one person. Maybe one. You can't make this stuff up, man. These folks are sad.
But we don't want to call it.
Hey, yo, and somebody tell Dr. Phil to have me on the show the next time they have this type of conversation. Somebody hit up Dr. Phil. Tell him to have Doc Rich on the show the next time they have this type of conversation, because I need to be there. Because I would have shut all that down. See, the problem is that white guy, he can't say what he wants to say. I can tell he wants to say something more. Like, he's kind of beating around the bush with it, trying to be like super polite and PC about it. But I ain't gonna do that. See, the white guy, he's gonna be called all types of names and blah, blah, blah. You can't do that to me, because we both black, right? You can't call, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess they could try, but it doesn't hit the same. So I'm going back at him. Like, no.
The place where master raped my great-great-great-grandmother.
I understand, but what my point I'm trying to make is that being offended by what somebody says or by a certain term is a choice that you make. You have a choice to not be offended. You have a choice to not let that affect you.
But you also
facts.
have the choice to not use the word.
People are free to say whatever they want to say within reason, but
Absolutely.
you're free to respond and react to that however you choose. And I think being offended by something is a choice that you make. You can choose to simply ignore the reference.
And watch him give him a but again. But you can still choose to not say that. Watch.
That it has, and to not let it affect you, and to not let it make you angry, and to not let it make you sad, and to not.
That's true and easy. I mean, we had to deal with it most of our lives, and our grandparents getting called the N-word all the time. We had to finally be able to choose not to let it affect us. But
Goodness gracious. Look. Stop with the BS. My grandparents are. What about you? What about you? Stop bringing up all this old crap. Oh, my grandparents. Oh, my great grandparents. Oh, blah, blah, blah. What about you? Who's out here calling you the N-word with the hard R? Tell me. Let me know. Nobody accepts that being said. You ever been anywhere and somebody yelled the N-word with the hard R? Everybody turns and looks, because that's not normal language. That's not normal lingo. That's not normal. You know what I mean? Like, everybody, hold on. Chill out, bro. Chill out. Don't go there. Just about everybody in the vicinity would do that. So, that's all that they can bring up is old stuff, because it doesn't happen today. He brought up his grandparents. The person before that brought up his grandparents. It's sad.
and we had to finally be able to choose not to let it affect us, but it's hard.
Somebody hit up Dr. Phil. Tell him have this type of show again and have me on. Have me on. Please. I'm tired of this crap, man. This is bogus. Continuously holding on to the past. For what reason? For what? Bro, listen, man, I can't wait until, I get face to face with some of these folks. Man, do I got some stored up debating right now. Man, I need a good debate. Goodness gracious, this stuff is just absolutely ridiculous. This victim's mentality. We need a cure for this victim's mentality, man. We need another jab or something. Make one for that, okay? Victim's mentality. All right, we need it ASAP. Tell them to come quick. Sheesh. My goodness. Isn't this sad to watch stuff like this? Sad. And the fact that the white guy, I know, couldn't say exactly what he wanted to say is also sad as well. And that's why I want to be in these positions. Because I'll say it. No problem. Expose everybody in there. Bro, why are you bringing up your grandparents? That happened long ago, Anyway. Y'all let me know what you thought about this crazy one in the comment section below. Shout out to Dr. Phil as well. Appreciate him bringing up these wonderful topics of discussion. Seems like Dr. Phil has a good head on his shoulders. At least according to some of these more recent videos that I've seen from him, he's making a whole lot of sense. Okay, well, both sense and sense. Okay, tell him to send me a care package too. You know, he making a whole lot of sense. You know what I mean? Send me a donation. But anyway, y'all let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.